Spending more time on the ground will 10x your mobility. Today we're going to work through all of the positions found in our latest ground mobility YouTube video, and we're even going to sneak in a few extras. Grab yourself a pillow, put it under your hips. We're going to start in our cross-leg seated position. This isn't a stretch, it's just a position to spend more time in. People who frequently sit on the floor in these types of positions rarely have tight hips. It's one of these habits that we can put back into our life that reduces the need for stretching and mobility training. If you've neglected this position, then you probably feel stiff. Your knees might be up in the air a bit. That's completely fine. This position will actually be more potent for you than the super flexible person, but you need to build it into your life as a habit. Nothing will come from sitting here once a week. Put more pillows around your house and keep coming back to this routine to remind yourself. Next, we'll move to sitting on the legs, known as Seiza position in Japanese culture. If you're really stiff or sensitive knees, use a pillow once again to reduce range of motion and pressure. So now let's sit back, breathe, and just try to feel comfortable here. Once again, this is one of those stretches that isn't really a stretch. It's great for the feet, ankles, and knees. Back when I started my ground sitting journey, I was very uncomfortable here. I could barely make it 30 seconds. Now, after working this into my life for years, I feel like I could sit here and meditate for a while. Now we'll switch the feet around, which makes this an even more potent stretch for the feet. Our feet are very neglected. Many people develop plantar fasciitis, stiff toes and ankles. We could do away with all of these ailments by simply sitting in this position daily. And it's the big toe or first raise stretch here that's very important. This is our connection with the ground, and the more we can keep it strong and mobile, the more grounded we'll feel, but also the more fluid our movement. Let's move back to cross-legged position, use a pillow under the hips if needed, and we'll take our toe dexterity even further. Place your fingers in between your toes. Most of us don't think about the range of motion of our toes, especially our smaller toes, but they should be able to spread and move on their own. Lightly pull them into flexion and extension with your hand. This may seem like a small, silly thing to do, but I've been completely surprised at how restoring movement and space into my toes has had positive effects on other parts of my body. Go ahead and switch sides. But when you really think about it, it makes sense. I mean, our feet are our connection to the ground. It's usually the only thing in contact with the earth. If we completely neglect them and let them become stiff, then the rest of our body will probably follow suit. Think about if bodybuilders put as much time into their feet as they did their biceps. Become as in tune with your toes and feet as you are with your fingers and hands. Now let's move on to a specific stretch for our piriformis muscle in the hip. Place the pillow under the front hip so we can get the torso angle correct. This prop allows us to shift our chest towards our foot. Keep your front knee at around 90 degrees and start to hinge your chest forward. If possible, gradually work your back leg straighter behind you. Most of us know this piriformis muscle can get really tight from sitting and start to lock down our hips. For me personally, I always find this range of motion to be one of my tightest, especially if I'm doing a lot of exercise combined with a lot of sitting. This propped up variation of the pigeon is the most effective way that I've found to really get into that piriformis muscle. Let's go ahead and switch sides. All right, let's do about 5 reps and hold that last one for 10 seconds. So now we're going to do away with the pillow and we're going to move on to Kadorziani's gorilla. We take our forward position, but we extend those back toes into the ground. The front knee does not need to be at 90 degrees in this one. Take your fists and place them into the ground in front of you. Raise your knees by pressing your feet and fists into the ground. We'll hold for 10 seconds. Feel like you're taking a lot of weight into your legs. Awesome work. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So once again, back toes are extended into the ground, fists go in front of the front leg, drive through your feet hard, and raise the knees off the ground. This is developing uncommon strength that can develop a lot of resiliency in the lower body. Excellent work, y'all. Now, we're going to spend some time in the deep squat. After all those positions and stretches, you should be very primed to sit deep comfortably. Of course, if the ankles are a limitation, use a little bit of heel lift and you'll feel more comfy. Focus on relaxing and also feeling the hip flexion, how that thigh is pulled towards your torso. All right, hope you enjoyed your time there. We're gonna move back to the cross-legged position. If you can lift one leg on top of the other in the half lotus position. This is definitely not required, but can be a deeper stretch for those that can do it. Reach your arms forward and start to let the torso collapse downwards. This puts a deeper stretch into the hips and a little bit more through the spine as well. All right, go ahead and work your way on out of there. Let's work our way back into the Seiza position with the toes extended, pressing into the ground. We're going to stay here for about 15 seconds. Now we're going to move into half Seiza, and this is a bonus one that I didn't show on the main channel. This is another inspired by Ziani and takes that ankle strength to the next level. Press the foot into the ground for a mini lunge type of movement. Obviously both legs are working, but I want to make that Seiza leg work as hard as it can. These are pretty intense, so we're just going to do 3 reps on each side. Go ahead and switch sides and get situated on that other leg. Once again, press that bottom foot hard into the ground. Raise yourself up just maybe around 6 inches to a foot and back down. I'm willing to guess that's a new one for you. Very rare to see anybody doing that in a traditional gym. But this is what's so cool about the ground. It offers all this different stimulus and variation that you can work on your body with. Now we'll move back into the propped up pigeon. One thing to mention on the pigeon, a little bit of rounding in your spine is completely natural, but try not to hunch over the upper back just to get more range of motion. And try to keep yourself honest to what your range of motion really is. You know, I could round my spine and dip my head down to make myself feel like I'm getting more range of motion, but that'd be essentially cheating the stretch here. On this last one, let's go ahead and hold in that bottom position, breathe. And relax and switch sides. And this side will give you a really clear visual of how I work my back leg straighter and straighter behind me. Let's do 5 reps with a 10-second hold on the last one. All right, fantastic work, y'all. We're gonna finish up this routine with another set of the gorilla. This time, we're gonna do the full push-up version. So instead of holding with the knees off the ground, we're gonna push ourselves up and down. Do the previous version if this feels like too much. I press into the ground with my hips and feet to raise, and then I lower under control. What's really cool about this one is it integrates the whole body. You can see the shoulders, the lats, the core working, but predominantly I'm trying to put as much weight into my feet and legs as I can. As you warm up into it, you can dip your chest lower, feeling a nice big stretch through the hips. And as Ziani says about this exercise, now we're taking our mobility and we're playing with it, exploring and having a little fun. Excellent work, y'all. Let's go ahead and take a few seconds and then we'll switch to the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and bring in this vibey Tom Misch track that I was listening to for this last set. Let's do 8 repetitions. There's obviously some great stretches that don't involve sitting on the floor, but I'm convinced that most of us could take back 50 to 80% of our hip mobility by just using floor sitting and stretching variations. I'd invite you to do this session often, but also build these habits into your life. Eat some meals on the ground, sit low with your laptop, and finish up here with lying on your back, taking a few slow, deep breaths. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Some of you requested no background music, so I didn't put any in. I'd love to hear your feedback. How did you enjoy it? And how did you like this routine in general? This is a new channel connected to StrengthSide main channel. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you want access to hundreds of our exclusive follow-alongs, check out our membership first link below.